After a day of feasting Thursday, we have a great Thanksgiving dessert. The Miami Dolphins travel to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. Jay, give me your thoughts on this one.
Tell you what, this is going to be a hell of a game. This is a must-win for the Miami Dolphins, and they got to feel pretty good about themselves. They came off a big win last week. Tua is playing extremely well. He threw 4 touchdown passes, spread the ball around to Tyreek and Waddle and the tight end, Jonnu Smith. Obviously, Achan's getting the ball, so they got to feel really confident. Now they have to play the Green Bay Packers, who feel pretty damn good themselves, beating the hell out of San Francisco 38-10. Jordan Love, no picks. He's throwing the ball very well. Hopefully Dobbs is okay. He got hurt in that game, but the amount of weapons that he has, and then Josh Jacobs just pounding it between the tackles against the 49er front was a thing of beauty. If that keeps going, and then Jordan Love can play the play actions off of that, the Green Bay Packers are in the talks of winning the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, Josh Jacobs, if he runs like that, the play actions with Jordan Love, that is nasty. But this is going to be a fun game to watch. I think the most fun game of the week on the slate will be this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game, and obviously Miami's starting to surge. AQ, what are you seeing from the Miami Dolphins? What's helped them turn this around and win the last 3 games, get back into the playoff picture? What's Miami doing right?
Tua. That's the main thing. That is the difference maker. They look like a team that was lost, and then they get Tua back in the fold. And I think it took him a game or two to kind of get his timing and everything back. But now it's that RPO and that all those little timing routes. I mean, the ball handling is the biggest difference, right? Everything that they do with the timing of the run game and the timing of the quick throws and the timing of all their timing routes all depends on his ball handling. And I think he does a fantastic job with that, and that's the biggest game changer you'll see for that team whenever he's in the ball game versus the early in the season whenever he was out and they looked terrible.
I know you like their run game too in the scheme. I won't mention the tree that it comes from, but give me a little take on what they're doing running the ball well. I know like the Bills game, Devon Achan starting to get after it. What are you seeing with that run game that you like?
Yeah, I do. I really like their run game. They're creative. They get to things that have been age-old plays and just a little bit of a wrinkle or a little bit of a different way. But the center, Aaron Brewer's playing fantastic. He was a big get from them from Tennessee this past offseason. And then when Terran Armstead plays, they look like a completely different line. It's just he's the same thing for the offensive line that Tua is for that whole team, right? Whenever Terran Armstead is in that lineup, that offensive line looks great. And they can win a multitude of different ways. Like this week, they didn't run for over 100 yards, but when they did run, it was efficient, and they leaned on the passing game, and Tua was fantastic.
And they use those quick throws like an extension of the run game, getting it out to guys like Devon Achan and Tyreek Hill. But everything runs through Tua. We realized when he went down, the team looked different. I was at that game when he went down, and he's the heartbeat of the Miami Dolphins. Colt, what makes Tua so effective?
AQ hit it. It's timing. The timing for everything in that offense starts with Tua. His ability to throw people open. He's accurate with the football. He doesn't have just like a huge arm. You're not like launching it deep, but all the catch and runs. If you go back and watch the games that Tua plays and he's on from the beginning, it's a thing of beauty. Catch and runs to Tyreek Hill, Waddle. That's why they're so effective, is because he's got playmakers around him. And AQ mentioned their offensive line is playing well. They can run the football, and it all looks the same, but it's different. You don't see it across the league. It's all the fly sweeps and the motions and the things that they build off of it. He's not taking sacks. He doesn't have to like do anything crazy other than distribute the football, and his accuracy is off the charts. And so they're on a nice little win streak, but coming into this game, it's going to be cold. Right, that's a home field advantage for the Packers. Tua's thrown 13 touchdowns this year. He's missed several games. To me, it's can Waddle and Tyreek Hill make plays? Like they're going to have some explosive plays, both go around 100 yards for them to find a way to win this one. I mean, it's going to be. I'm with Jay. This is probably one of my favorite matchups of the week. But it's a thing of beauty when the timing and the precision and all the little intricate details that this Dolphins offense uses, it all works through Tua, and when it's on, it's on.
You know what also has been on our channel, guys? We are growing at a steady clip. We appreciate all the support. What I need you guys to do right now that are at home watching this, like, subscribe, set your notifications so when we drop videos, it's going directly to you. You're only getting this content on this channel, and we look forward to you guys and continuing that support. AQ. A short week is a crazy time as a player. Talk us through what it's like playing on a Thursday game, the pros, maybe there's more cons than pros, but give me a little bit of back and forth on that.
Yeah, so for me, I loved Thursday night games. I know a lot of people don't, but it's like I liked it because there was no pads. It was all walkthrough. The schedule, you knew what it was. I think also you do what you do well, right? It's a condensed game plan. If you normally got 160, 170 plays on a play sheet, now it's down to your best 100, right? Because you don't have the whole week. And, you walk in on Monday and that's your Wednesday, Thursday split. And then the next day is your Thursday, Friday split. Then you got your Friday, Saturday split and you play a game. And there's no time to think. There's no time for nerves. There's no time to overthink, which I think at the NFL level, I think you can get a lot of coaches that do that. They overthink a lot of things. They go back and they try and have the perfect game plan as opposed to just doing what you do really well. And for me, the hardest part is, just coming off the Sunday game, especially when you start creeping into year 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Because it's how do you get the rehab? How do you get your body back to normal in a quick 3-4 day span when, for me at the end of my career, I didn't start feeling great again until Friday, which is a day after the week that you're playing this week, right? And so for that part of it, it's hard. But I think you lean on the run game, you lean on your fundamentals, you lean on playing good defense, and then, everybody goes out and just does what they do well. And I think you normally get pretty good game plans.
I always enjoyed that mini bye and getting some time off there. Jay, coaching in Thursday games, give me your thoughts on is AQ right? Is he wrong? You probably hated it because of the preparation side.
He's right to an extent because we could not put a lot of new plays in. You didn't have time to really install them. And like he said, everything's a walkthrough, and it's hard to get the timing right. If you want to put a new pass concept in for the way the team plays cover 3, they might carry the verticals as opposed to spot drop. So you might have to put in a new play here or there. But you got to condense a game plan. Like AQ says, do what you're good at and try to lean on your players to do the right thing. But I like Thursday night games because Friday morning, man, I never set that alarm clock. I just slept in. It was awesome. Yeah, it was, you're just thinking of the game. And then, at fourth quarters, man, I can't wait to get to bed and just get a good night's sleep for the first time in like 6 months. But, Thursday night games were fun because there's only one of them typically. And it's a grind for the coaches. But afterwards, you get a nice 3-day vacation. And usually the best team wins on Thursday night. There's no tricks up your sleeve in that game, buddy.
Hey, we've had some good Thursday night games. Cleveland Brown, I was at that game last week, and it was a great game. The Cleveland Browns came out on top, started looking like a team. This is not only Thursday, it is Thanksgiving. So just shout out, happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. I'm thankful for these 3 stooges that I'm on this show here with. Have any of you guys played on a Thanksgiving game? Cole, I know. I'll let you rebut first, and then has anyone played on Thanksgiving?
I've played on Thanksgiving. I'll go back to what AQ said. I mean, the hardest part about Thursday night or Thursday games or Thanksgiving games on a short week later in the season is everybody's banged up. Everybody's got something, and walking around the locker rooms during that week, everybody's excited about the sort of mini bye week you get afterwards, but the nicks and the bruises and stuff that you just don't have time for that all to go away. Like AQ said, he never felt good till Friday. Being able to handle that just as much as the mental side of, a few new plays here and there, playing in the cold weather, Miami traveling all the way out there. Like that's a big deal for Miami on a Thursday, traveling all the way up to Green Bay, playing in the cold weather. It's part of the game. I actually enjoyed playing on Thursdays, because you got to dig a little bit deeper, and really the team that wants it the most is going to go out there and play their best, and it'll be fun to watch. But I think the Dolphins, haven't beat the Packers their last 3 matchups, and this one's going to be tough for them to do too. Green Bay's ability to run the football and shorten the game, and then play good defense. Like we don't talk about the Packers defense that much, but over the last several weeks they've really come together and creating turnovers. McKinney's playing at a high level. He's an old teammate of mine from New York. He's a great safety. They're aggressive. The big plays don't really show up for Green Bay. So if Miami wants to win this game, I hit on it earlier. Like Waddle, Tua, Tyreek Hill, like these guys are going to have to go off. Like they're going to have to get a Tyreek Hill on a slant that's going to split a safety and go for 80 for a touchdown. Like things like that are going to have to happen. They're just not going to be able to move the ball up and down the field methodically on this defense.
No, I love that. I mean, we're going to hop into predictions. I'm going to circle back to you. AQ, any good Thanksgiving stories that you want to drop in here? Thanksgiving synonymous with playing football. I always enjoy playing on Thanksgiving. Anything good on that front?
Actually, one of the pretty memorable plays of the last, 15, 20 years or so, I was a part of on Thanksgiving night. I'm playing for the Ravens. We play the Steelers, and Jacoby Jones is about to return a kickoff for a touchdown. R.I.P. Jacoby, hell of a player. It was the memorable play where Mike Tomlin sticks his foot out on the field and tries to trip Jacoby. You guys remember that?
I do.
We lost to the Steelers that game and then beat them. So we split, but we each beat each other on on the opposite on the away game, but that game was wild. It was back and forth, and I just remember that game, and it's like, that was the talking point the next day. Mike Tomlin sitting there looking up at the jumbotron, and then bam, there goes that foot trying to trip him. They ended up tackling him before he scores. And Thanksgiving games are interesting though, because Friday, you get that Friday off, whether it's win or lose of Thanksgiving week, and it's like, we lose, sucks. But you get one of the best meals, in my opinion, the best holiday meal of all time in Thanksgiving meal. To show their thanks, Underdog is stuffing the lobby with promos during their feast week. We're talking profit boosts, discounts, so much more. And if you bring your friends to the table during their Refer a Friend event, you'll both be eating on Underdog. Head to the Underdog app and start feasting.
My Thanksgiving story was AQ Shipley used to have us over. As my wife and I, we were living in Arizona at the time, playing for the Cardinals. AQ every Thanksgiving would have us over. He just had a massive Friendsgiving. Unfortunately, I was on the East Coast and missed it. But AQ is one of the best chefs in the NFL as a player. I mean, even just normal chefs, I put him up against any of those. He buttered up the turkey. I think he deep fried one year. So always a good memory. And that's the beauty of football, when your teammates become your friends, become your family. So shout out to the Shipley family. Let's get a little prediction for this game. Jay, I'm going to take it to you. I think I know where you're leaning, but give me your thoughts on that. And does the cold affect the Miami Dolphins? Can they shake the cold weather up there in Lambeau?
Sure they can. They're grown-ass men. I mean, what's the cold weather got to do? Wind has a lot to do with it, because Tua's got to throw in the wind, but so does Jordan Love. But Jordan Love has a pretty big arm. I love the NFC North, baby. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers to blow this game wide open. Josh Jacobs continue rolling. And Tucker Kraft, my man, had 2 catches for a touchdown last week. He guys laughed at me. But yeah, I like the Packers, of course.
Colt, as a quarterback, how does the cold impact throwing the ball? Are they going to try to do a little deflate gate here? Like, what? Give me some cold weather tips for quarterbacks out there.
Nah, it don't affect the quarterback. It affects the receivers. They're the ones that got to catch it. I'm going to put it right where it's supposed to be every single time. And by the way, in cold games, I play with Jay would be on the sidelines doing the
cold as hell.
Trips right, 2-jet. I'm like, speak up, Jay. Let's go.
I absolutely love it. Who do you have winning in this one, Colt?
Listen, I hit it earlier. I think the Packers have a home field advantage. Of all the stadiums that I played in the NFL, playing at Lambeau Field was by far my favorite place. Just the tradition, the history there, the fans. And when that weather turns, it's a chance of snow, it's a little bit cold, the fans get even rowdier and crazier. And it's such a special place to play. But after saying that, Packers home field advantage is going to win this one. Josh Jacobs, if they can get him going, Jordan Love, they got playmakers on offense. And then on the defensive side, it's just they're tough. They're stout. A lot of these like timing motions and trick plays and speed sweeps. I think the Packers are going to be ready for that. They're just going to play base defense on a Thursday night. I think they're going to be too much for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going with the Packers as well. I mean, I just don't think the Dolphins are as complete of a team as the Packers, and I love what LaFleur is doing. I really do. I think last week he turned on the game film and he's running duo. And then this week it's zone and counter and orbit motions. I mean, it's just, you can tell they're putting a lot of thought and effort into game planning. They're not just doing, exactly what he does, which I've been a part of some teams that do that. Hey, like, we're a duo team, that's all we're going to run. No, it's like from week to week, the run games look completely different. I love seeing that. And Jordan Love is playing at a high level. I think defensively, they got a better defense as well. I think the Packers win at home.
I got to keep us honest a little bit. I think Miami's fighting for their lives. Hungry dogs are going to run faster in this one. Green Bay just had a game against San Francisco. I think Miami catches them slipping Thursday night. Miami is trying to right the ship right the narrative that they can't play in the cold. So I think Tua gets the ball out in space. Waddle had a great game last week. He's finally come alive. Jonnu Smith has been a breath of fresh air. He's one of the, playing the last few weeks like one of the best tight ends in football. The Miami Dolphins defense, yes, does it make me a little nervous, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I agree with you guys. Best game of the week, and I'm just going to take the Miami Dolphins to win this one.
You guys act like the Packers aren't going to be hungry. They're 8-3. They're 2 games back in the division. Home field advantage in the playoffs is critical for Green Bay. They got to figure out a way to get at least one game at home. So this is a big game for them as well, not just Miami, Justin.
Well, Miami goes home. At least the Packers are going to be in the playoffs. And as a player that's been in that locker room, when you know you're going to the playoffs, you aren't as hungry as a team. It's like, hey, if we lose this one, our season's over completely. That's the point I'm making.
I've seen 6-game losing streaks. They can go 8-9 and not make the playoffs. So they're not in the playoffs yet. There's a lot of football to be playing. All you guys just assume that they're 8-3. They're in the playoffs. This is a big home game. You got to win your games at home.
You just hope the kicker makes the extra point when they hit the Hail Mary in the final 30 like your team, you know?
Golly.
Yeah.